To kick off the afternoon session, we have a remote speaker who's going to talk to us about what used to be called mining, but as I mentioned earlier today, is going to be moving to the concept of transaction processing, as they like to say in Canada, processing, not processing, as we Americans say, for the future. Let's welcome to our screen the Chief Marketing Officer of TAAL Distributed Information Technologies. It's a Canadian public company involved in the blockchain transaction processing space. She is Angela Holowaychuk. Hey, Angela, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Hi, Miami.
Hear you, Angela. It's always so good to see you. We wish you were here in the warm weather with us instead of in Vancouver.
No, sorry.
So Angela and I are going to have a bit of a conversation to educate you about what they're doing for the future of transaction processing, particularly with the Bitcoin SV blockchain. I know you have a few slides to show, Angela, so whenever you want to share your screen, you can. As you're doing this, why don't you just tell us what TAAL is for people who don't know?
Yes, TAAL is a blockchain infrastructure and transaction processing service provider. So we provide the processing power for applications building on Bitcoin SV and contributing data in the form of a transaction, and they want that written and validated on chain. And we are based in Canada. Our head office is in Toronto. We have also an IP and development office in Switzerland. So we have a global team. We're globally distributed as well, our team, to provide and work on proprietary infrastructure solutions for enterprise and value-added solutions for transaction processing.
So TAAL operates now exclusively on the Bitcoin SV blockchain as opposed to processing transactions or mining on different competing Bitcoin networks. Can you tell us what influenced the company's decision to do that?
We have all of our hash power, so our ASIC mining machines that are distributed across Canada and growing. We have some new machines, about 3,000 of those coming online in 2022. We've decided to contribute that hash power to Bitcoin SV, securing the network and really powering the applications that are building on top of that. And why we're doing that? Because we see that the Bitcoin SV protocol is built for scale and it's built for a long-term view and it's sustainable, it's scalable, and it's professional. It delivers to enterprise. And as a publicly listed company, we have to be really critical in the infrastructure and the technology that we build upon. And if anything, the recent events, the record-breaking transactions and blocks that we see in August is validating our decision to build our business on top of Bitcoin SV.
Yeah, because TAAL mined some of those gigabyte-sized blocks, right?
We did, yes. We had a record block of 2 gigabytes, and we've been seeing, gigabyte blocks happening in our statistics and on chain over the course of August. It's been an incredible month for Bitcoin SV and for TAAL. As per our reporting, as of July, we've mined over 16.5 million transactions. Another thing to note is we've finally seen an example of a block that has enough transaction fees inside of it that is surpassing the block subsidy. So we are very excited to see that. And of course, it's only getting better. It's only getting started, Jimmy.
And for those of you who don't know, TAAL was the mining transaction processing company that led the move by BSV miners to lift what's called their hard cap so that they would start accepting 2 gigabyte blocks. A lot of them had set lower to 1 gigabyte earlier. We'd seen 1 gigabyte blocks, and they are starting this progressive move to 2 gigabytes. And we'll see in the future where it goes from there as the network and the participants see the impact of that. All right, what's your next slide, Angela?
I just to highlight a little bit of our infrastructure here. Like I said, we are on schedule to be bringing on petahash online across this quarter and going into the new year. And we run a lot of our infrastructure to support the applications and digital assets that we see that are building on chain. What ultimately we are building for is enterprise demand, and we're seeing that demand. And what enterprise comes to us is we have to support their business, and we have to support them with real-time transactions, low fees, unlimited scalability, and of course the network security and industry compliance. So this is what our team around the world is continuously focused on really positioning our infrastructure for mass adoption and scale. And we deliver, I mean, it's infrastructure. I'll try to make it as sexy as possible here, but we deliver APIs and hooks and SDKs for businesses and for that application layer. So we're the infrastructure layer, and we provide solutions for the application developers around the world. So we have our TAAL API, which is a robust API. It allows you to send your data and have it written and validated direct to chain. You can hook up to this API, or for some of our clients that want a little bit of a turnkey solution, you can download the TAAL client, which goes into their own network and really helps them construct the transaction and control the processing activity from their network. We also deliver all of this is viewable within the TAAL console. So our clients would log into the TAAL console. It's a web-based application. They have the ability to manage their keys on their projects, all of their billing, and see their transactions in real time on a real-time dashboard. So
very, Angela, different way of approaching what used to be mining or transaction processing, where in the past, if you were a sender of transaction, you would send a transaction to the network, it would get broadcast out, and somebody would just take the transaction if they won the next block. What you've developed and what's happening in BSV is creating APIs where companies that generate high volumes of transactions, like healthcare, game transactions, where you know you're going to be generating 1, 3, 5 million transactions a day, are sending them directly to TAAL. Tell us how that works and what kind of business arrangements are done to actually facilitate this.
The traditional way, and still a way, is you can broadcast your transactions to the public mempool. That is kind of a blind submission, we call it. You do have to pay a default rate. You can manage the fee that you put inside of the transaction and post it onto the public mempool. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee on the transaction processing time. And so for some applications, what we're hearing is that they need that real-time guarantee. They need to know when that transaction and that data is going to get delivered to them so that they can deliver it to their end user. So what we've done is implemented a merchant API into our network infrastructure, and it allows for an enterprise client to connect directly server to server. So this is via the TAAL API, and send their transactions. And this allows us to create that guarantee for processing, and also have the ability to charge fiat-based pricing, which is a unique value proposition, because some enterprises, maybe their institutions or others, might not be able to hold onto the token and also just want that fiat-based invoice to come through.
And do you provide service level commitments to your clients? For example, in the tech industry, when people license software or other technology services, they often get a service level agreement, for like 98% uptime, guaranteed, for example. What do you do on that regard?
Yes, so we do have service level agreements. You would, as a client of ours, we would do a contractual arrangement with you, guaranteeing that we are going to process your transactions. We do offer varying rates for different transactions, depending on, do you want that processed in real time, versus there may be some data that clients specifically just don't need in real time, but they want it to be written to the chain, and they don't mind it taking a little bit longer. So we have very flexible contracts with our clients, and we can adapt them to their unique needs. And in terms of uptime, I mean, our machines, yes, they're up all the time, 99.9% of the time. Those are the ASIC miners that I said are across Canada, really powering and providing this service for our customers.
Okay, why don't you move on to your next slide?
Yes, so we talked a little bit about TAAL's API, so that's sending data to us. Now, we acquired a IP, a block explorer, actually the first ever built for Bitcoin SB. It was called WhatsOnChain, still is operating right now, WhatsOnChain.com. It is a window to the blockchain. It provides and it delivers real-time data in a user-friendly manner. So anyone and everyone can kind of log on there, see what's happening, check out blocks real-time, transactions. It is going to get a new user interface. So actually on testnet, it's already deployed, and you'll see later in the month that it's going to get a new interface on the mainnet. What WhatsOnChain basically delivers to a client that wants to connect into their robust API library is the retrieval of the data. So for example, if you're running a wallet application and you need to call upon transaction status or be alerted when particular data is available, or you want to see the balance, etc., you can use one of the WhatsOnChain APIs and retrieve that data into your application. We offer that for developers and for enterprise applications to connect to those services for free, and then you can upgrade to more higher volumes at a discounted rate.
Okay, great. And your last slide.
We have a lot going on with TAAL. As a publicly listed company, you can visit our TAAL.com website, check out our investor site. We just closed off our Q2 filing, so we had a really strong quarter. Gross revenues are 6.7 million, and we had an adjusted EBITDA of 629,000. We hold a large treasury of BSV. Those are some of our revenue drivers for the business are really the block subsidy transaction fees and our holdings in BSV, which are over 100,000 coins. So we had a really strong quarter. We're really proud of that. You can check out our website for more information or contact our team. But I would really like to put it out to anyone that you can definitely contact us to talk to any of our experts to really understand the tech and the transition from miner to a transaction processor and how critically important that is for the industry as we see the halvenings coming up and the block subsidy be reduced. And I know that all of you are sitting there and listening to some of the applications that are presenting today. And you can see the scale and the excitement that's happening in this community. And TAAL is positioned to support that application layer and to power it for the future. So we're really excited about the future and what's happening on chain today.
So to summarize, I think about what's happening with TAAL leading the way as moving the concept of blockchain transactions and data more to like today out of cloud services, right? People pay for cloud storage and the sending of data to the cloud as they used to do with physical servers. And now the blockchain world is seeing, especially at these enterprise scale, the large amounts of transactions that we're talking about could be done in the future, needing enterprise solutions to deliver those to the chain through companies like TAAL that are different than how the traditional mining world works. And so it's great to see you leading the way on that front. Any last thoughts, Angela, about this shift to viewing blockchain data writing as a sort of new form of data processing?
Final words is I would just have to say to anyone that's wanting to getting introduced to blockchain or has been a veteran of it, you just have to follow the tech. You have to look at, it's right there, it's transparent, there's block explorers, there's all of these types of data sites that you can see that the BSV protocol is set for scale and it's efficient, and we're really excited for the future and what it's going to hold. And we are here to help any of the applications that are wanting to get involved into this space or building already. So just check us out at TAAL.com.